On August 11th, in the most volatile hotspot of the South China Sea, an unprecedented incident occurred. Two Chinese vessels collided with each other while pursuing a Philippine Coast Guard ship near the disputed Scarborough Shoal. This wasn't your typical China-Philippines maritime confrontation. This time, Beijing's own ships crashed into each other, leaving one severely damaged and unable to continue operations. What exactly happened in these tense waters? Let's break it down. According to the Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, on the morning of August 11th, their vessel BRP Sulan was escorting relief boats for fishermen in the Scarborough Shoal area when multiple Chinese Coast Guard ships began a high-speed pursuit. Among them, Chinese Coast Guard vessel CCG-3104 executed what PCG spokesman Jay Tariella called a dangerous maneuver, approaching the Philippine ship from the starboard side at high speed. Here's where it gets unprecedented. While attempting to intercept the Philippine vessel, the CCG-3104 suddenly changed course and collided forcefully with Chinese Navy ship number 164, which was also participating in the pursuit operation. Video footage released by the PCG captures the moment of impact, with a loud crash of metal against metal echoing across the waters. The result? The bow of Coast Guard ship CCG-3104 was severely damaged, rendered unable to continue its seagoing operations, according to Philippine officials. The collision caused such significant structural damage that the Chinese vessel had to withdraw from the area entirely, an embarrassing outcome for what was supposed to be an intimidation operation. But the collision was just one piece of a larger pattern of aggressive behavior that morning. Spokesman Tariella also accused Chinese vessels of subjecting Philippine boats and fishermen to dangerous and obstructive actions throughout the operation. This included the use of high-pressure water cannons aimed at Philippine vessels, though one managed to successfully evade the attack. These tactics aren't new in the South China Sea. But having two ships from the same country collide during a pursuit operation, that's genuinely unprecedented and raises serious questions about coordination and safety protocols. The incident highlights just how chaotic and dangerous these confrontations have become, with multiple vessels operating in close quarters at high speeds. The response from both sides reveals starkly different versions of events. The Philippine side was clear in its assessment. Spokesman Jay Tariella emphasized that the incident demonstrates the dangerous level of recklessness in Chinese operations, putting not just foreign vessels at risk, but their own ships as well. China's response, however, was more selective in its storytelling. The China Coast Guard issued a statement claiming they had monitored and expelled Philippine vessels after they ignored warnings, describing their actions as professional, standardized, and lawful. But here's what's particularly telling. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian, when addressing the Scarborough incident, made absolutely no mention of the collision between the two Chinese vessels. Instead, he accused the Philippines of sending multiple Coast Guard ships, official vessels, and military aircraft into the area, forcing China to take necessary measures in response. This deliberate omission suggests Beijing is trying to control the narrative and avoid acknowledging what amounts to a significant operational failure. To understand the significance, we need to examine the broader context of Scarborough Shoal. This disputed feature sits just 240 kilometers west of the Philippines' main island of Luzon, but nearly 900 kilometers from China's Hainan Island. Despite this geographic reality, China has controlled the shoal since 2012, following a tense standoff with the Philippine Navy. Since then, Beijing has imposed a 22-kilometer exclusion zone around the feature, even preventing vessels from seeking shelter during typhoons.
This is part of China's broader strategy to control nearly 90% of the South China Sea. However, these claims were completely rejected by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in 2016, which ruled that China's 9-dash line has no legal basis under international law. Beijing refuses to recognize this ruling and has instead escalated its aggressive activities in the region. The shoal represents a key testing ground for China's gray zone tactics, using civilian and paramilitary forces to assert control while avoiding direct military confrontation.
So, what does this collision tell us about the broader situation? First, it reveals the inherent chaos in China's increasingly aggressive maritime operations. When multiple vessels pursue a single target at high speeds in confined waters, accidents become inevitable, even among your own forces. Second, it may indicate coordination problems between different Chinese maritime agencies. The Coast Guard and Navy might not be operating from the same playbook, leading to dangerous miscommunications during critical moments.
Third, and most importantly, this incident provides clear evidence that China's escalating South China Sea tactics are spiraling beyond safe operational parameters. The pursuit of intimidation is creating risks that extend even to Chinese forces themselves. This fits into Beijing's broader strategy of using continuous pressure, harassment, and exhaustion tactics to force other nations into submission. But, as we've seen, this approach is becoming increasingly dangerous and unpredictable. The incident also hands the Philippines and other ASEAN nations valuable evidence of Chinese recklessness to present in international forums.
This collision raises critical questions about the future of South China Sea tensions. Will China adjust its tactics after its own vessels became casualties of their aggressive approach, or will they double down, accepting higher risks in pursuit of their territorial goals? For the Philippines and ASEAN nations, this incident provides concrete evidence of Chinese operational recklessness that can be used to build international support for their position. For the international community, particularly the United States and its allies, this serves as another reminder of why maintaining freedom of navigation operations and regional presence remains crucial. The collision also demonstrates that China's gray zone tactics, while avoiding direct military confrontation, are creating their own set of serious risks and potential flashpoints. What's your take on this historic collision? Was this simply a maritime accident, or does it signal deeper problems with China's South China Sea strategy? Are we witnessing Beijing lose control of its own increasingly aggressive operations? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more in-depth analysis on China and regional developments here on Beyond China. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.